Welcome back to what will hopefully be our last game in the Sicilian theater. Let's take a look at the forces. The Axis Defenders of Messina. We have two companies representing what's left of the Italian coastal defense forces and the German grenadier companies. The first formation is an Italian Fusilieri company, taken from the player pack. We have a HQ of 2 rifle stands, a 81mm mortar platoon with 3 mortars, a Breda MG platoon with 3 Bredas, 3 rifle platoons of 9 rifle stands, and 4 47mm guns in a platoon. We also have a platoon of 4 AB-41 armored cars supporting that formation. The Germans, we have a Panzer Grenadier Company. We have an HQ of 2 MG teams. We have a platoon of 2 82mm mortars, a platoon of 4 Schwer Maschinengewehrs, a small 5-man Panzer Grenadier platoon, and 2 7-team Panzer Grenadier platoons. And in support, we have a STKFZ 222 and 221 Scout section, 3 5cm anti-tank guns, 4 10.5cm artillery pieces. Sorry, I'm still getting over COVID, so my lungs are not working today. A Panzer II OP, and 2 Marder anti-tank guns. And that will be 110-ish points of Germans for today's game.
And on to the Americans here. We have the lead elements of our armored company. So we have a full armored rifle company here with our HQ, 2 full-strength platoons, and 1 that is short-strength. And then they have armored mortars along with them. Attached, we have elements of the actual armor. We have 5 of our, at this stage, they're actually M5 Stuarts, and then 4 Shermans, who have also had riding along on them, as you've seen in prior battles, an element of our Rangers. And then a Priest with an OP for them as well. So hopefully, we will be able to push the Axis off of this island without the need of those British.
Alright, Italians/Germans are going first, as I actually want to roll for once. So our first movement step, and in a true me fashion, everything is staying stationary. I'm going to opt to allow my entire army to go to ground for the first turn, and hopefully that will help. Because I don't really have any shots anyways, and I can't artillery because of meeting engagement, because we're playing the free-for-all mission, and yeah. So, let's see how this goes. On to American, turn 2. No, on to American, turn 1.
Alright, American turn 1. We moved forward the Shermans here, somewhat over the mountain, into the range of their main guns for the turn. Our defensive wing has otherwise mostly stayed stationary. Our mobile wing, Rangers have dashed forwards up into the lee of these hills here in the center, and along with the bulk of the armored vehicles have also moved that way, just staying behind there without any cover of artillery this turn. And so that's also going to mostly restrict any shooting we have. I think we're going to do a couple main barrel shots, and that will be an also very quick American turn.
Alright, well, let's move right into the shooting. What are you going to shoot at with the Shermans? And they have stabilizers, correct?
We do have stabilizers. Okay. We're just going to fire up at the gun to ground hill OP.
Oh, my Panzer II.
Yeah. So he's
over
cautious.
Cautious, over 16, gone to ground because of the hull down concealment from the hill, and stabilizer. So 4 becoming 5 for range, becoming 6 for concealed, becoming 7 for gone to ground, 8 for stabilizer. So 6 followed by second 6.
Cool. Let's do it. We got one chance, which you wouldn't have liked if that roll was 6.
I mean, I wouldn't have been upset at this point. Like, I'm too used to it.
that's it.
Alright.
Right back to German Italian.
Let's see if they do anything. We'll be right back with that. German turn 2. We didn't have a command step for a change. So what I did first is my 222s and 221. I just moved in behind the hill there because I forgot to do that last turn, and they were not hull down. Everything else pretty much remained stationary along the line. I went to move the AB41s out of the vineyard, which requires a cross check. Their cross is 5+, so I gave them a cross here order and rolled that. So they're just going to pretend like they didn't move. And we'll move on to some artillery shots, which for this game, we're just going to tell you where we're going to drop them and then be back after we rolled to cut down on the amount of time spent figuring that out on camera. So, for my artillery, I'm going to attempt to range in the German mortars just in front of the half tracks there, seeing if I can clip any. Likewise with the 10.5s, if I have a spotting team that can actually see to that spot. And then over here, I may attempt to use the 81 millimeters for the Italians on the defensive line. But once we are done with that, we'll let you know how that goes. Alright, so we did shoot some artillery. What did we shoot? We ranged in the German mortars just in front of the half tracks there. I successfully hit 1 after the rerolls for 2 guns firing. Ben rolled a 1 for his armor check, and I failed the firepower to barrel it out. Then my formation command team here spotted my 10.5 centimeters. Over on 2 of the priests, I hit both, and he rolled a 6 and a 5, I believe, for his armor check, so that bounced off. And I opted not to shoot the 81 millimeters yet. I'm going to continue keeping this flank gone to ground. So we will roll right into the American turn 2.
Okay, so simple move. Shermans trundling forward into the Italians that hopefully won't be able to pin their front armor. The Rangers doing what the Rangers do, sneaking into the woods. And then American early war armor, at least when it was aggressive, doing what it does. Full speed, dashes ahead. These guys came running up. And yeah, they're going to swing hard and hopefully have enough of a hammer blow to break those Germans. We're going to go right into the American shooting. Hopefully is equally as aggressive. Which is going to be mostly Shermans, little mortars, artillery. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do. The artillery, this little mortar is just going to probably try and get some Italians pinned down. Sherman's likely going to just repeat up at the OP there now that they're inside the 16. Be at least one easier. And then we've got the other mortars here. They will probably fire at the Italians. Actually, what I'm more likely to do is one of these two, probably trying with the mortars first, to be honest, because it's the lighter artillery, will be dropping a smoke bombardment to cut off the valley of AT guns. And ideally, we don't have to try and range in with the second smoke bombardment. We can just use it to soften up the Germans. So we're going to come back with the results of that.
All right, the American artillery has shot. Take us through what they've done.
So the mortar half track over here delivered for us. We have a band of smoke over there, helping to guard our armored push. Our priests ranged in first attempt, time on target. We were with that able to hit both platoons over here, the mortars and the grenadiers. And with the time on target rerolls, actually able to take out 2 of the MG teams. The mortars both saved with the rerolls, great for them, but at least softening up the target there. The 60 millimeter from the dismounted infantry here was trying to range in on top of his rivals in the hill opposite. He failed to range in, and so that is the artillery I have currently deployed. We're going into just our base shooting. The primary shooting is going to be the Shermans. They're going to fire up into the OP again. We're inside 16 this time, so it's 6s and 5s. 8. All right, let's see if they can deliver.
Got
1.
6 again. See if this can get hit.
Be great if you can do a 5. We always love to get that OP down, but we don't.
Okay.
I think that is actually the only shooting I really was going to do up this turn. And that will take us right into Axe's turn.
All right. I do have a command step, so we will start with that. All right. So it's a German command step. We have a pin check, an unpin check on my mortar team and my Panzer Grenadier team. So starting with the Panzer Grens on a 4+, they unpin, which they do. And the mortar teams with a 4+. They don't, but are they within 6 inches of my formation commander, who is the flower base? They are, so I'll take that reroll. And they will unpin. So we will move into our movement step. All right, so some movement on the Italian front. Both of these Fusilieri platoons advanced forward. This one attempted to follow me and passed. This one attempted to follow me and failed. I'm trying to clog the Shermans with bodies at this point, till I can deal with what's over here. On that note, we had the Panzer Grenadier platoon in the monastery has moved out, trying to counter advance on those Rangers. I attempted to blitz and failed on my 5cm AT guns and buggered my blitz, so hence the token from Breakthrough Assault. Awesomeness to have, along with the dash tokens that we have around here. But they failed their blitz, so they'll be adding +1 to the score needed to shoot. Otherwise, they just shimmied over to try and get some extra shots on the Stuarts. Everything else pretty much staying on the ground, staying stationary. The Martyrs also attempted to blitz. Attempted to cross-check just to move. There we go, that's words. One passed, so I just kind of moved them over to the edge to get some better shots when that smoke dissipates. And that will be my shooting. So we are going to move into that'll be my movement. We're going to move into shooting, and we'll be right back with that. Okay, so German artillery. First off, we repeat bombardment with the 10.5s on top of the priests. We hit them both, and once again he bounced. The 82mm mortars ranged in right in between that big conglomeration of vehicles, hitting a couple of half-tracks and Stuarts and failing to do anything appreciable. And then the Italian medium mortars failed to range in on the hill there. So we're just going to go to some regular shots once I untangle my camera from the table. So we're just going to go on to those regular shots here. We got 2 5cm AT guns are going to shoot your Stuarts here. I failed the blitz, so I'm adding +1 to the score needed to hit. Your Stuarts are
aggressive,
so 3+, becoming 4+. Getting 1 hit. My AT is 9 to your front armor of 4.
Yeah.
So a 5 can equal.
5. You are in 16. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, almost
very
bounced
close. That was very close. And then I believe these are firepower 4+.
Yes, for the medium AT.
Yeah. So I will finally kill a Stuart. Maybe the first Stuart I've killed in a very long time. I will take it, and we'll see if I can do anything else after this. So moving on to American turn 3.
Okay, so for American movement, reports the Italians have left position, so the half-tracks have surged up over the hill. The Shermans have slowly trundled forward at this point. The targets are danger close. And over here, our armored thrust has moved forward again with the Stuarts leading the way. Hopefully there is no regret. There is some heavy debate on how to crack through that much machine gun fire, so we're going to try and gain the flank and roll it up from there.
Oh, and your Rangers
The Rangers were going to try and stay in the forest, but they didn't bring shovels, so they're just, I don't know, taking a nap. For the turn, that will take us right into the American shooting phase.
All right, we'll be right back after the artillery and get on with the rest of it.
So we're actually going to try and put a smoke line with our priests. Rolled all 3 2s or below. The mortars, we're going to try and range in on the infantry here and actually clip a martyr. Rolled all 1s and 2s. And the 60mm mortar here needed 6s, so it's not a shock that he failed to range in on the hill, but he rolled equally bad. So 9 range in attempts. Hopefully that's burned out all our bad dice rolls for the turn. Right into bulk shooting, which we're going to start with the half tracks over here. Sure, why not? So they can't see or range to anything except for the couple they can see right here, which is really only potentially 4 by any group. They are
Sorry, there was some
all within 16 of at least a gentleman.
neighborhood power tools in the background.
So we're gonna roll a lot of dice. What do we got? 4 30s and a 50 that moved. So 50, just roll him out. They're cautious.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, and then 3, 10, 12. My short one? Nope, nope. Okay. 3, 3, 3, and 3. So for 30s. So on 4s, we will put 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, and 1 on the back guy. So 2, 2, 2, and 1 of the only targets they can.
This dude is good. This dude is good. Command team is okay. And the last team is okay. But that will be enough to pin them.
You worried about dice rolling this game? I'm starting to. Shermans. They have 50s and 30s, so 2 and then 2 regular 30s. 50s on the move, so 4 each. We are going to, I think, split fire. We're going to do 2 of them to there and 2 to the platoon in front of them. So 4 and 8 from the ones to the left platoon. Yeah. Actually, having failed so much of that last one, I'm going to put 3 into that platoon. 3, 6, and 7. So 2 of them we'll say are essentially hidden. So 1, 2, guy on the hill here, boom. That's the 2 in that column, the 1 in that column, 3 in there, and I guess, so yeah, 1 on each. Each of them barring the 2 that are hidden by the hill.
Okay.
And then the last 4 to the platoon that was just in front. 1 hit. Okay, yeah.
Lead team, or do you want to throw
Put
it
it
back so you
on,
can?
sure, this guy over here, who's fine.
Yep.
Over here, we are going to.
It's going to be a fun little mess of machine guns.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of machine guns.
I'm tangled on.
So the first one is going to be the half tracks, the 50 from that, and I'm just going to roll in the 50 from the commander, are going to shoot at the AT guns. So 4 for that, which has 3 hits. Fantastic. So 2 and 1. We're going to put 2 on the furthest out one. And then, so 2 there and 1 on him.
Now, do they not have range and line of sight to the last one as well? So should it not scatter to him?
Oh, you are absolutely
There are 3 in the squad. Sorry.
right. I was forgetting that my smoke wasn't there, and also thinking of
the range. Yeah, I don't know if the
range
is enough to actually clip it. So it's worth
they're definitely
checking.
in. So
yeah,
1 on
okay.
each.
All right.
So do roll them separately.
So him first. Now they are light AT guns, so they do still have a 3+ save, and they have the fire or the bulletproof cover from the gun shields. So this guy, so firepower, and this guy.
So there's a 5+.
Ooh, that's not good.
50s finally did something. Great. The rest of this platoon with their 30s, I don't think they have a lesser range. Yeah. So they're just going to shoot at the various. There's a machine gun platoon
yes,
there.
Yes, there's a grenadier platoon
3,
of 5 MG teams and a heavy machine gun team
6,
of 4
9.
MG teams.
So they're shooting at just the machine gun, the heavy machine gun team.
Okay.
Now
they're still gone to ground because they
so
still haven't moved to
6s?
shoot. Yeah.
5s miss, concealed and gone around. Yes. Okay. So 1. We'll just put it on this my end one.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 up save. Good to go.
Good to go. All right. So moving into the rest of the various platoons. So this full platoon here. The 50 is going to shoot at the AT gun. The 30s, I also suspect, did not have any kind of range. Oh, they actually might. And then the Stuarts are going to shoot the Grenadier platoon in front of them. So we're going to do the Stuarts. They're 5 apiece, so I need 20, which is all of the dice in this set.
And what are they shooting at?
So they're going to shoot the Grenadier platoon in front of them.
So 4s to 5s to 6s, because again, concealed and go on the ground because they still haven't moved. Then you get a couple 6s.
So 6. So we'll put 1 on each with a second on the furthest back one.
Okay. So
the small base.
1 at a time here. This dude is good. This one. That's a fail. Back row is good and is good. And then the last 2, might as well use those 2 dice again, is good. So just 1 firepower check on the lead team. Should be a 6+, or are these 50s?
These are just machine guns.
Okay.
Guess the 6.
Let's get a 6. That hardly ever happens for us.
Yeah, the bullets are doing better than the artillery. What's this? We shifted factories. Fantastic. Okay. And there is half track. So we're going to do the 50 at the AT gun there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know what? The 30s, these platoon did have range. I really don't like the AT gun. I want everything in the AT gun.
Now, are they the back row? Are they not blocked because of the front lead half tracks sitting in their way?
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Vehicles are going to block themselves. So these 2 aren't going to have sight.
They're slightly elevated just because
is there an
of the
actual elevation.
Well, it wasn't intended, but it does look kind of cool, so I'll give it to you.
Okay. So 2 50s that have to roll separately, and then 3 30s or 2 30s. Yes. Boom. They are just on 4s to hit.
Yes, yeah, because they moved last turn.
So boom, and that's the 30s, and the 2 50s both hit as well. They don't have range to get over to the other guy.
The 50 does, because it's 20 inches.
The 50 will put 1 on each, and then the 30s, the 3 of them will be additionally on the other one.
All right, so 30s on him. 1 goes in.
Okay.
And then might as well do the 50 on him as well. Saved.
Good.
And on him. Saved. So just the 1 6 up firepower.
Can we do it twice? No.
It is, once again, enough shots to pin that squad. I'm pretty sure that was enough shots to pin the other squad.
The Grenadiers. And we did all the Shermans.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that will wrap shooting. I do intend to go into some assaults. I'm going to start with an assault over here. I want to send the Stuarts into the Grenadiers. They all have range. I killed the 1 AT gun. The other is not going to have defensive fire. None of the rest has AT weapons, right?
Correct. Just
so,
rifle
and then
AT.
he is going to be able to hit anything that touches the bases. So we will brave the 1 AT shot. There is nothing, if I hit the second row, I got to worry about. Oops, sorry. No, he's definitely dead in the middle of the field for 8 inches. So we're going to roll right up into them and roll right up into that.
I'll take my 1 AT shot, because I might as well. And I'll hit you on your side armor, which just goes straight in.
2 or something, yeah.
And bail you out.
Oh, bails 1, so he does bail, assuming you don't care.
It's not
Bails
gonna
at
stop
the
here,
2
so
inches going in. Boom, which he'd be 2 inches back. He is bailed. And then we're going in.
Well,
So
you gotta do
2 and 1.
Yeah, a pool.
Does kill the 1 and does kill the second.
Alright, and I'm not going to elect a counterattack, so I'm just going to fall back, and I'll be right back after I do that. And here we are after I've fallen back. The Grenadier platoon with only 2 teams left has moved back. The 8cm mortars also were able to move back, and the 1 5cm gun that was just within 6 inches has moved enough to not be within 6 inches anymore. So, moving right along. Okay, we have another assault over here. As I got a cable in the shot, don't mind me. We've got 2 Shermans rolling into the Italian infantry who have no AT, and nothing was within defensive fire, so we're just going to go straight into hitting.
So they're going to just try and roll over you, which they don't.
Okay, I will attempt a counterattack. They are the slightly upgraded platoon. Their counterattack is still a 5+. So, can I do it? No, of course not. So they'll fall back. And yeah, I mean, they'll be here. I'll show you afterwards. Be right back. And there we are.
Okay.
Alright, here we are at the end of the American turn. I believe that was turn 3, so we'll be rolling into German turn 4.
Is it 3 already? Yes. Okay.
Alright, German command step. We're going to start by unpinning. So the Grenadier platoon on a 4+. They unpin. The mortars next on a 4+. With a reroll from the command, will stay pinned. The 5cm guns with a reroll will stay pinned. Typical. This one is on a 4+. They unpin. And I gotta double check the other one. I think we're also on a 4+. Yep. And they don't have a command reroll, so they will still pinned because part of them had to fall back. And then last thing is a last stand test on that Grenadier squad that's down to 2 teams. Their last stand is a 3+, and they're good to go. So moving into my movement step. Okay, so the Italians continued re-advancing because they're not sure what else to do in this instance. This platoon just consolidated its point on the hill there. Over there, the Panzer Grenadiers continue to advance toward the objective, and 3 of my AB-41s finally succeeded their cross-checks to get out of the vineyard. So that'll be my movement phase. We'll go straight into shooting. Okay, so just before I go over what I rolled before I should have turned the camera on, artillery. We actually managed to range in on a 6 over there on the second attempt with the Italian light mortars, and
still hit 5 out of 6 teams.
But couldn't kill them. But it's okay. I pinned them. That's what's important. The German medium mortars were pinned down, so they couldn't. And the 10-5s, I rearranged them in, as Ben was pointing, over the half tracks there, hitting, I think,
vast majority of stuff.
Yeah, it was a Stuart and like 5 half tracks. Unfortunately, I couldn't pen, but Ben did roll well. But I did bail out a half track, and I did kill a Stuart, so that was kind of cool. Then I moved into my shooting before remembering I should have recorded. So the 2 5cm with their pinned rate of fire 1 shot at the Stuarts, both hitting on 4s. So he's just about to roll his front armor. 18-9 to front armor 5.
I would love to see an American bounce something once. Come on, it's possible, right? They do.
Equal. And equal. Well, I can bail you out on a 4+, which I'll bail 1 out.
I bailed.
Okay.
Ta-da.
So then, my martyrs, 1 will rotate to fire at the half tracks, because it can't rotate far enough to shoot at the Stuarts at the moment, and the other will shoot at the Stuarts. So, they are currently outside of 16, I believe, to both units there.
Yes.
So, going to be needing +1 to hit here on the Stuarts with 2 shots. You're aggressive, so hitting on 4s. So 1 hit. I'll put on the last
straight in,
unveil.
right? You're 12?
Yeah, it's 18-12. And I believe firepower 3+. That's kind of cocked, so I'll just re-roll it. So that, yeah. So I killed the 1 unbailed Stuart. And then the other one will be shooting this platoon here, hitting on 4s. Both, and yeah, they're half tracks, so that just goes straight to armor. Bailed out both. Wow. I really have not been able to kill the single half track, I think, this entire campaign with anti-tank guns.
Because you always kill them with AT weapons of like 12, and you obviously just shoot right through, so your firepower always fails.
Sure, we'll go with that. But at least I built out a couple of your half tracks over there. We'll mark that in a second. I have more things to shoot at them with. That's right.
Smoke not going down has really, really messed up my punch. I'm just saying.
What's the front armor on your half tracks?
1.
Do I shoot it with machine guns then?
Sure.
We got 3 AB-41s, moving rate of fire 2, but anti-tank 5. I will target the squad that I shot with my martyrs that have 2 bailed out tracks already. Target the unbailed out guy first, hitting on 3s. getting 2 hits. So 1 on a non-bailed, 1 on a bailed. This is only a T5, so you do have a save.
What are you shooting? Oh, the ABs?
Yeah. The ABs here.
Okay.
My armored cars that finally got out of a bush.
Okay. Yeah. So you hit 2?
Yeah. So 1 on the non-bailed out track on the end there, and then 1 on the bailed out in the middle.
So not bailed out.
Bounces.
That goes in.
That goes in. Okay. So fire 5+. And I bailed him out again, which actually could blow it up. I believe it's just a regular morale check, which for them was 3+. Got the double bail on the half track here. We just double checked to see if there was anything to give it a morale boost from its transported passengers. We didn't see anything, but let us know if there is down below in the comments, guys.
It's using just its half track morale, which fails,
unfortunately. But then you do get the infantry saves for the teams inside.
It's gonna have that's the half strength platoon, so that's gonna have bazooka and a rifle. Bazooka.
Cocked.
Yeah.
Good. What a
and
shame. Still can't get all bazookas.
Right.
Okay. I killed the rifle team.
Oh, well, it was... Okay, sure.
Well, you said bazooka and a rifle, right?
Well, yeah, it was bazooka, then rifle, and then I was rerolling the cock. But no, it's fine. We lose a rifle, so we remove... I guess he's totally gone. And a bazooka from the short strength platoon would be out on foot.
All right. So then I am legitimately considering shooting your half tracks with machine guns. I mean, your front armor's 1. Okay, so the SMG 34 platoon, they're going to shoot at the larger strength half track platoon there. So I'm going to do these in pools of 2 because they're rate of fire 6 stationary. So I'll do the 2 here first and then the 2 here. I'm going to target, you know what, I'll just shoot, I'll shoot this one. Targeting him first. So the first 12 shots hitting on 3s. Be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits it of the first, and then the second half 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So each track's going to get 3 hits, and then so the front 3 get 4 hits, if my math is correct, and the back 2 get 3 hits. So that will just be, please roll a lot of 1s for me, which I will grab the camera back here in a second. There we go.
So we'll just start in the back here and work forward. 3.
Good.
They're good. 3. They're good. 4, starting the outside. Very good. That one made of American muscle. 4. That one doubled.
Got 1, so that's the middle guy. Okay, and then the last guy.
Then 4 from the last.
Okay, so just the 1. Get 2 chances here to bail you out on a 6+. Those are all bail out 1 half track. That was fun, but I'm not entirely sure if that was worth it. So that's that flank, I think, because they followed me. They can't shoot. That AB-41 doesn't have line of sight. Everything else is basically shot. So we got some Italians and such over here, which frankly are not going to be able to do too much against the front army of your Shermans. And your half tracks are a little too far out of range for me to shoot at. So I think I'll just go for that concealment on the 2 moving platoons and stick the gun to ground on the left flank here. So that will be the end of German turn 4 onto American turn 4.
Starting step of greatness. I've got a pinned out platoon here, and then we're going to go into the big pocket of vehicles there. So pinned rifle here. Does get up.
Darn.
Fantastic.
That 60 mil is going to come back to haunt me. I just know it.
You deserve it. He can't range in anyway. Over here, we have 2 Stuarts bailed out. They have a commander right there. They stay bailed out.
All right, that's good for me because that'll be a last stand test on them.
Yeah, this whole bunch is just never rolling above 3s. We'll do the 1 bailed out half track. No commander. No. Yeah, none of this stuff will bail out without having the passenger roll. Boom. Those 2 here with the reroll. One of them actually does get in.
Okay. Oh, and technically the bazooka team itself has to make a pin test because it got forced out. Which, yeah, it's fine. I figured it would be.
All
right.
Okay.
Any other unpins?
No.
So just the last stand test then?
Yes. Last
and
stand.
are they 3+ or 4+?
They're confident.
Oh. Reroll? Ooh. Okay.
Nothing in that corner has rolled anywhere, so these two are straight scuttled.
I have to say, though, that is big for me. That actually gives me a little bit of pressure off me. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You still have a mass of infantry. And yes, I do have a lot of machine guns. But
oh, shit. And I can't remount the half tracks now.
You do also have your rangers, which are very good at assault. So if you can pin me down.
That is an abandon. And now I think I retreat, dig in, and make you come to me for the next 12 turns.
We'll see how it goes.
See you tomorrow.
So we'll come back after the movement step.
Okay. Well. Bad turn. Real bad. So, Sherman's shifted over here. Get line with that objective. The half tracks have shuffled just to try and fire at some more remaining infantry. The mortars have given up the ghost firing and have advanced down to the grenadiers coming up the road. The rangers can't leave the woods without support, so they've just dug in for a turn. And everything else here has learned that without that smoke, our fist is blunted, so we're going to shift to the defensive as much as it pains me. So I saw no other feasible way. We have sent the one platoon to the rear and had them run back. The other half track that had enough to carry everyone except its one member have all raced backwards as well, along with the commander. And yeah, not in a great position, but I mean, he still arguably has to come to us as well, so he is the attacker. We're going to shift backwards and go right into some American shooting that hopefully bolsters and turns around our situation. All right, artillery phase. 9 attempts to range in. No dice above a 3. Priests did range in. Took till their third to get above a 3. Hit. Nothing, because not a single dice rolled above a 3. Yeah, artillery amounted to nothing. Yeah, that's real weird for us. So we're going to go right into direct fire.
Okay.
We might as well just start with some half tracks here. We got 2 30s here that can see the one team at the corner. 2 hits.
Okay.
They're just on the same team.
He dies.
Okay, and the 50 can't see that platoon, but he actually might be able to see that one. So he's going to take 2 shots, or he didn't even move.
Yeah, so it's full rate of fire, but it is over 16?
And yes,
okay,
for sure.
So hitting on 5s.
So hitting on 5s.
1. All right. Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, he kills 2.
And then 6 shots from them into there. We'll double check. I think they can only hit 2 or 3 of the teams, which will matter. Yeah, we can only hit 3.
All right.
So 2, 2, and 1.
All right. 1 on the commander then?
Sure.
Okay, so him. He's dead. This team is alive, and this team dies. So that'll be a last stand test for that platoon.
The Shermans, in the meanwhile, will... All of them are here. Just going to fire into the machine gunning the crew there that isn't dug in as well.
Okay.
Got to get some numbers down. So 4 apiece. With their 50s moving, not really making a difference. So 2, 4, 4, and 4. They are having trouble, but we do get 6. So 1, 2, 3, and that's a separate platoon.
Correct,
so 1,
yeah.
2, 3. So that's
1 on
6
each?
that essentially are visible.
Yep. And I'll lose 4.
We will go then over to here, where we're using the machine guns on these half tracks.
Okay. At the Grenadiers.
To shoot at the Grenadiers.
They are in the open, so just hitting on 4s.
So we do get 5.
Okay. Were they all in 16, or was
so
it in 16?
Not all of them are. The split, actually, that one back corner one can't be hit, and so we'll say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll just do 5. The 5 that are in the open column.
So 1 on each, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. And they
all of them are
but
fine.
they will pin.
And over here, we'll do 50 into the armored cars, I guess. So he had a moving 50.
And it's over 16, so hitting
Yeah.
on 5s.
Nothing. And I think that about amounts to it.
All right. Well, we'll move into German turn 6 with some command step stuff. All right. So unpin checks. We got this platoon. They are technically pinned. So on a 4+ they unpin, which they don't. And then I'm just going to do their their last stand test now. On a 5+. They will stick around, but they'll be pinned. I'll mark that in a second. This squad unpins on a 4+. They do not unpin. So that's that flank. And then over here, we got this squad here unpinning on a 4+. They unpin. And the mortars over here unpinning on a 4+ with a commander reroll. They will stay pinned. And the 5 centimeters also on a 4+. They unpin. All right. Almost forgot that Grenadier platoon over there with the 2 teams left also has to do a last stand still.
They're good.
And I think it's 4+ for them.
They're definitely not reluctant.
Oh, it's actually 3+ for them, yeah, so they're good. All right, so I'm going to move and step. That platoon dug in. That platoon attempted to dig in but failed. Oh, wait, no, they couldn't attempt to dig in anyways, so as I had repositioned, that's my bad. Over here, the Panzer Grenadiers that unpinned, they have begun to advance up the roadway instead. The AB-41s have moved up to support. The 8 centimeter mortars have shifted over to the right for some protection from the incoming artillery. The 2 Grenadiers have pushed forward, and I really don't know what else to move at the moment, so everything else is staying stationary. And we'll move into the shooting. Okay, so I'm getting really bad at filming. Don't mind me. So, artillery. Italian artillery repeat bombardment on the hill. I managed to actually hit everything but the 60 mil, but did not kill anything. Over on the left flank, I was able to rearrange in the 10-5s there in the middle of the infantry. I hit a few things. Did I actually kill anything?
You killed an LMG.
Yes.
Short strength platoon.
Yes, one of the few things I actually did hit. And then I rolled straight into shooting without thinking. 2 of the AB-41s shot up the road there at the armored half-track mortars, but failed to hit. So I'm just figuring out the rest of my shots now. I don't have anything really on this flank that has range, I don't think, because my infantry are only 16 inches. I think he fell back past that, from what I can see. Well, he could shoot the half-track, but I think that the hill is going to be blocking line of sight to the infantry there. The machine guns, I believe, are 20 inches range, though. Should we double-check? They are 24. So I might just put those into your half-tracks again, because I really don't like your half-tracks. And I don't know if these 2 on the side here have line of sight. One doesn't, again, because of the crest of the hill. But this one can see the upper half of both tracks, so I will do that as I pick up a Breda. Good job. There we go. So let's get to throwing some dice with my cables in a safe spot. Let's do it like this. I will do the 1 MG team first. Rate of fire 3 stationary into the half track, hitting you on a 5 because you are partially concealed. And you would be under 16 for them. I will get 2 hits. AT2 to your front armor 1. They're good. Which actually reminds me, because my heavy machine guns are only AT2 and you're over 16, you would get the +1 to your armor, so there really would be no point in rolling. So we will skip doing that.
I forgot machine guns would, my armor would go up against a machine gun.
And then, actually, that might be it for my shooting, unfortunately. Can't direct fire with my martyrs on anything yet. So yeah, that'll be the end of German turn, whatever the heck it is at this point, on to Americans. American starting step. Turn, we don't know.
5, maybe.
Maybe 6.
Possibly 6. But, so we've got an unpinned on the hill here. They don't. No commanders with these. Unpin over here. That was the 3.
Yep.
So they actually rally on a 3.
Okay.
Okay. I do have the 1 track.
Oh yeah, he's still bailed out.
Because he was with the full strength platoon.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. So he stays bailed out.
Okay. Movement. Getting real option bound. Fell back down the road far enough to stay back and a little bit safer. Drawing the infantry. We've got the Shermans have shifted forward, potentially in range to kind of go gallivanting into some Italians. We're lacking anything to follow up with them, barring potentially remounting the armored rifles over here, which is a thought I had at least. More stuff has fallen back here. We want to secure this objective until we've dealt with the elements that have pushed forward. That's about it for the turn. So we're going to go into probably ineffective artillery. We've got various 60s set up to just try and get some stuff pinned down. Predominantly are going to be the priests. The priests themselves, actually, I'm tempted to range in over with the Italians off my OP, who was also even a potential candidate to back up the Shermans. But he's going to try and call in the battery and deal with the lighter AT guns, so I can press home an assault over there. And, we'll see if we can get some momentum recaptured.
Alrighty then.
Okay, artillery. The little mortar ranged in finally, at least pinned down his mortars, didn't kill any. 260s over here, completely failed to range in, 6 less than 5s. And the priests, time on targeted, right into his stuff. Time on target didn't matter because he actually failed pretty much all his saves, all 4 guns and 3 of the rifle MG teams. But I totally whiffed on firepowers. I did kill 2 rifle MGs and 1 gun, failing the other 3 firepowers for the guns, unfortunately. But, I mean, 1 less. They're pinned. It's something. And we're going to go into the bulk of the rest of the shooting and see if that leaves open any potential assaults. So I'm just going to start right off with the mortar here, doing MGs. 3, 6, and 9 into these grenadiers, which we get a bunch of hits on your 4s. So we get actually almost all of them, 3, 6, 7. I think we only had range to the front 4. So 2, 2, 2, and 1.
Okay, so starting at the front there, he's good. The guy behind him, he's good. That guy, the command team with 2 dies, and the last team dies. So the command team will switch. Yeah, that's enough to pin them, which I'll grab a marker here.
Okay, excellent. And I think the only other firing is just from this flank, and you have pulled back past almost everything. We have 2 half-tracks that can shoot him, and the 20 that can shoot up at over 16 to the ones that aren't dug in. So 3 at the single guy dug in. They know where he is. They like to hit him. 5.
Okay. I will fail 3 of those for firepowers.
Okay, well, that's at least a shot at it.
Yep.
We get one. Fantastic. Just limit a ton of shots to only 1 guy and you can get bullet firepowers. And then the 20, 3 up at the guys on the hill. Hits 2.
Okay. Save 1, so that'll just kill 1 because they are not dug in.
And then into the Shermans. Shooting the Braves.
Okay.
What do we got?
So I'm careful,
Threes are out.
and I'm still concealed and
Fours
gone
are
to
out.
ground on the Berettas, so you're hitting on 6s.
We get 1 on each.
All right.
There's 3-man platoon. 1 on each.
All good.
Okay. Have I missed any shooting? No, that's shooting. So, do we want to do the assault? This is the only assault we're going to have. You've got 3 pinned AT guns.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to close in with 3 teams, that one will not have range, but 3 teams.
We'll be right back after we decide what we're doing. All right, so he's moved in. He was able to clip in just there, which is going to put some pressure on my AT guns. So I got some side shots, hitting you on 3s. I will hit all 3. I'm only AT 6 though, and your side armor is
4s. Of course, you hit all 3, so we're going to probably fail at least 1, hopefully no more than 1. I'll just go left to right.
bounce. Equal.
Equal. And
bounce.
good.
Okay, so my AT on these is a whopping 4. So I will bail you out.
All right. So 1 bails out back at where he was closing in,
All
just
right.
outside his 2.
And then you get to swing. 1 on a Breda, and this guy has the option of Breda or Rifle MG.
I would do a Beretta and a Rifle MG.
Okay.
Rifle MG, no. Beretta, no.
All right, so then I test to counterattack, and I have...
So
Okay, it is a 5+, so let's even see if I can even stick around. I don't, so I'm gonna fall back, so let me see where that puts us. All right, so I was forced to fall back, and that's where we're ending this on this turn, so we'll move into the Axis turn. Okay, let's see if we can unpin. We're gonna attempt to rally the Rifle Company. They do not unpin. And the Bredas, they do unpin. And the anti-tank guns. Okay. Then the mortars also did have to fall back just because one of them was just within the range. So do they unpin? Yes. And we'll put that there on your bailed out tank just to mark it. And then my 82mm mortars over there that were still pinned. And they are still within 6 inches of the command, so they will very much stay pinned. Maybe if I roll German dice, it'll work. We got the Panzer Grenadiers in the roadway on a 4+, also staying pinned. And and then the last stand test on the remaining 2 teams of that Panzer Grenadier platoon over there.
and the
They are
battalion
no longer
is over here.
within 4 inches, so they will run away. And then yes, that one last platoon there, as Ben picks up the kitten to drag him away because he's trying to play on the table with us. But they will stick around with their last stand. So that will be my command step, and we will move on to the movement step. Okay, so my options were pretty limited. The Bredas and everything are just going to stay here, trying to keep as much cover between my few AT guns and those Shermans as possible. The scout cars, oh, I forgot to move the scout car. These scout cars moved around, hoping to get some side shots with those 2cm cannons. Failed to cross him up and over the steep hill, unfortunately. My AB-41s, the one that was in the vineyard, is just chilling there, I guess, for the rest of the game because he still couldn't pass out or cross out. So the rest moved up. They're chasing down those mortar tracks. The Martyrs, they did succeed in crossing, so they moved up a tactical. They're going to go for some side shots there. Everything over there is just staying stationary to cover that point in case he decides to rush forward with his Rangers in the tree line, or those infantry decide to come back with their half tracks. And then these Fusilieri and mortars are, I mean, there's not much they can really do at this point. I have to take these Shermans out, and they can't really contribute to that, so they're just going to stay put for now. And we'll move into some shooting. We'll do the artillery as usual without being filmed here, and then we'll be right back with the rest of the shooting. Okay, so the medium mortars could not range in. The medium mortars over there are still pinned. 10.5 shifted their range endpoint back onto the priests, hitting one but failing to hurt it. So now we're going to do the AB-41s in the roadway. We're going to shoot up at the mortar tracks. We're going to be hitting you on a 3. Or a 4. I didn't actually check the range. Are they within 16? Yes, okay, so hitting on a 3. So 2 hits. We'll just put them on the 2 on the side there together. AT5 to your front armor.
So I need, yeah. What was it? Does the armor go up based on... Yeah, my armor would go up because only the one track was in 16. Yeah, so you get the hits without the 16, but one
Okay.
will have armor.
Well, I won't go back and re-roll because I did roll a 6, but yeah. So one will get
your
the
hits
plus.
would both be counted as in range.
Yeah.
So one that is just base armor.
Yep.
And one that is a bit further away.
So that one bounces. The 3 though, what is your front armor? Is it 2?
Just 1.
Okay, so that one actually goes in.
4, so it goes in.
Okay, so
5, 4.
5. No, so I bail you up.
Bail.
Was worth a try. There's not really a lot I really need to shoot over here. So let's go with the 2 martyrs. Moving rate of fire 1. Going to shoot at the bailed out tank and hope to scatter into the other tank. They are over 16. So I will be hitting you on a 4, not a 14. So 2 shots. Getting 2 hits. Okay.
So
AT
bailed
12
out and solid.
to your side armor.
Just going straight in.
So he's bailed out again. And he's bailed out.
Okay, so 1 bailed out.
Morale check on the 1.
Morale, I think, is
3 plus.
yes. Apparently, they don't have the determined, even though they're only still aggressive green, so they're just
Now, were
confident.
these ones from the player pack at all with different stats, or
The Shermans they didn't update,
no? Okay.
so no, just 4 plus.
Oh, he's
He
good.
is good.
All right. So then we got, I believe it's rate of fire 1 on the move with these 222s. Let me just double check that. I should have checked it already. 222 light scout troop, 2 centimeter. It's rate of fire 2 on the move, so we got 4 shots. Okay. Hitting you on 3s on these 2 Shermans, going for the side shots. 3 hits, so 2 and 1. Your side armor is 4.
Yes.
My AT is 5, so just don't roll a 1.
You've said this now.
Yeah, okay. I figured. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, that is probably actually going to be game, depending on how this next turn goes. So, unfortunately, that is Italian turn over. Moving on to the Americans. American starting step.
Yeah, I do have a bit of one. Pinned the hill. Stay pinned.
Yeah.
2
I couldn't have that
tanks.
happen the rest of the game, though.
We'll do left tank. Stays bailed. Stays bailed.
Yeah, I still got 2.
Stays bailed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We can't even roll above a 1.
All right. So
Awesome.
we'll move him into his movement step here, and we'll be back.
All right. Mostly Rangers. They're going to try and charge these martyrs. Get them out. Half tracks have surged forward this way. The command one has come up to take some fire through the trees. Try and support these other mortars. And the Shermans have trundled forward because they're going to just try and charge the remaining infantry off the objective. That's honestly the most critical part. If they do, then that'll end it there. So we're kind of skipping some of the very small arm bits before we have to wind up here for the evening. We're going to go into some fire here in the center, and then we're really going to lead with that Shermans and see if it wraps up.
All right. So let's move straight into the shooting.
Shooting. Cool. Various mortars are not going to have any effect. Mostly a couple shots from the two Rangers that stay behind at the back. Grenadier, see if we can remove an extra defensive fire.
Now they were stationary over my last turn, so they'll get concealment now. So hitting on 5s.
No, my rolling so far doesn't matter. Machine guns up here, 3, 6. We do have 2.
Okay.
So the front 2.
Killing 1.
Boom. Mr. Half Track here, this is 50.
Now he'll be shooting through trees? Question mark? Or
Well, I don't know. I'd have to actually even check his line of sight now because he killed the one team I was aimed at. Yeah, he might even just skip it.
he can.
What
I
about
think
this
he'd be.
guy up here? He
I
can
was gonna
shoot.
say if he's a 50, he might have line or enough range to hit the ABs at least.
Well, yeah, he's a 50. But can you see the
Question if
through
they're
the tree?
it's if they're within 6. I'm not sure if they are or not.
I guess actually that 50 does have range through the trees because he's in 6.
To more than one?
Just the one at least.
Oh,
but
oh,
it's
well,
how
you
many
can
am I
still
gonna
hurt
kill?
it.
And then the 30 at those. Sure.
Mhm.
30 at the infantry, 50 at the ABs. Nothing at the infantry.
Okay. ABs are careful, so hitting on 5s. Which they do, and side armor is a 1, and your AT is 5.
4, I think.
4?
4.
Well, 1 will equal.
Okay.
No. Okay. Worth a try.
Boopity boom. I mean, sure. Shoot some machine guns. Just shoot some shit at the AT guns, I guess.
Cannons or MGs?
Machine guns. Everyone's forced out of foxholes now.
Okay.
Boom. So,
Oh yeah, and I don't know if these ones have. Yeah, they don't have gun shield.
no, Mr. Lefty McChuckonuts. It's 2, right? You're
Careful,
Yeah.
yeah.
boom.
3 up save. Kills 1.
And other guy.
Hits
It's
1.
1.
And kills it. So it leaves me with a single A pin down AT gun there. That's really not good for me.
Boopity boom. The rest, there's a lot of various small arms and mortars and shit that a lot of it's not really relevant.
I was gonna say it really just comes down
Do
to
they have
just
side
assault.
armor fucking 0?
They have side armor 1. 1, 1, and 0.
I'm going to try and bail them out with 2 rifles.
Sorry, it's 2, 1, and 0 apparently, actually.
2, 1, 0?
Yeah.
Alright, sure.
But that works out for you.
I can't
Okay.
hit anything. Even
It's
ranges.
all good.
Cool.
Skip straight to the
Sure.
assault. All right.
Sherman's.
So if I remember correctly, you were discussing this one here.
Yeah, and one goes behind the curve of the hill.
Okay. So
Something.
that guy should be out of range for defensive fire on
Yeah.
them, from what you were saying. So I got the 1 shot from him, which doesn't even hit. So
And then I'm not going to kill much, probably. Oh,
I'm
I
gonna
do.
kill him. And all right, so we'll
Kill
say this
1, sure.
Breda.
That one.
All right, let's see if I can even counterattack. And I can't. So that will, yeah, that'll be the game because you'll push me off the
Should
4
be at
inches
the range. I
from it, and
consolidate into the 4.
You started within 4,
or stay on
unfortunately.
it.
So that will be this game. This was the final, as I said, the final campaign game of Firestorm Sicily there. This was the Siege of Messina. So we will be back with a debrief. Well, that went about as well as I expected. I mean, at the start at least, it went better than I expected.
You
but
went well better than normal.
I killed
I've
those
never had to
stewards
fall
finally.
back, and then it was just neither of us wants to advance into the other.
yeah, no, there was no way I was going to advance because
Failed
I
smoke
did not
barrage,
have the
left me
ability.
very open, and you did not fail to hit for once
Well,
on that turn to make up for it. And I was rolling Jacoby. We're going to use that as like a verb now.
Jacob, I'm not okay with this. But no, I think that worked out better than
was
I
fun.
expected. The dual infantry companies, there's a little bit more tweaking I think I need to make with it, but they definitely had staying power. They just
You,
didn't have the assault power.
Have yelled at me oftentimes for bringing 2 infantry-based companies.
Yeah, and you always tell me
and
that's
then
what I should
promptly
do.
was like, I see why it works.
Yeah, well, it did and it didn't. I still didn't have the numbers. Even if I dropped one of the platoons, the combat platoons from each company, and taken, I don't know, maybe a single platoon of tanks, it may have made a bigger difference because then I would have had an armored counter thrust.
Yeah, like you, again, see, the trick is having an armored counter thrust or having any type of mobile element rapidly removes the amount of platoons you have on the defensive.
Yep.
Like, obviously, my defensive line is very, very thin.
Mhm.
It relied on being able to, if things went bad, remount half tracks or even pull up mortar half tracks to plug the gap. But, I mean, mostly I had the initiative until that got blunted.
Mm-hmm.
So, sure, you got a lot of numbers, but if you switch to having an offensive element to grab
wouldn't
my
have that
objectives,
amount of
you
numbers,
wouldn't have had
yeah.
the numbers again. So
Yeah.
it's a weird balance to trade off. It could have gone better with your rolls this game if you'd had both. Who knows? But, I mean, it was a bit of a slog.
It was a fun game for me, at least.
And you bogged us down at Messina, which is arguably historically what you did. You bogged
Sure.
us down a little bit, then you got the hell out.
It's not that we, like, historically speaking, the Germans did not win here. Obviously, Operation Husky was a complete, total success for the Allies, in so much as they took the island, but the Germans were able to hold them long enough to get a majority of their better divisions, like the Fallschirmjäger, the Hermann Göring division and whatnot, off the island, across the Straits of Messina into Italy, cat, for the follow-on invasions. So I feel like this, as you said, this is
Honestly,
very historically
most of the battles
correct.
went relatively historical. You blocked the British a couple times, slowed their attack in Catania, and the Americans ran ham all the way around the long way.
Because I let the coastal troops to defend against them.
Yeah, that's you know, we followed along, and we didn't have to completely break the history of it. But also for us, it was like a first campaign, so it was really good.
Yeah, we've done some linked games before. We did the car campaign, but this is the first time we've tried a Firestorm campaign.
It was different.
It's a lot of bookkeeping.
Not even so much bookkeeping. I was
Well,
say,
there is a lot of bookkeeping.
You lose a little bit. Like you get the Firestorm, but it doesn't feel like a lot of times necessarily connected because the divisions are so open-ended.
Yeah. Which
But
I mean,
we'll give you another one here with the end of the campaign. At least for this match.
It might be slightly different with the actual Battlefront ones. This is a fan-made campaign, so I don't know. The current Firestorm campaigns the Battlefront are making might be a little bit different. We might try that at some point.
Bit different, yeah. And also, I mean, it still was nice because nobody does this theater.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
true.
Theater that
Italy and Sicily are very underrepresented.
Generally overlooked. And kind of an evolution time period between what we had in Africa, especially for like the Americans and the British, to what we brought along to here, and then what we eventually kept with us through to Italy. So yeah, you'll see the player pack a little bit. Things are a mix. No M10s. My Stuarts were upgraded, but my troops are still green. It falls in the middle of stuff. But we made the battle work, and we're going to give you a bit of a campaign roundup here, probably in a separate clip, so I won't cover everything for this one.
Yep.
And
we'll leave it for that.
For the game itself, was fun.
Indeed.
And that's what it feels like when you get some good turns rolling.
Well, yeah, I don't know what that's like, but I do. I guess I do now. But we'll see if we can keep that momentum going forward to the east. So on that note, folks, as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you love what we do here on the channel, please check us out on all our social medias. We got a Facebook, Discord. We have a Patreon if you really do want to support us that way. And we have Instagram, which my wife runs. So, as always, we're pulling for you. Just keep your sticks on the ice.
Take care out there.
Damn Panzer Kitties!